You ever felt a shiver down your spine while sipping on your favorite brew in a cozy cafe? Well, cafes with their warm ambience, comforting food, and the intoxicating smell of freshly brewed coffee are usually considered havens of comfort and relaxation. The clinking of cutlery, the soft hum of conversations, the rhythmic hiss of the espresso machine, and the occasional laughter all contribute to a symphony of everyday life. They're places where people gather, where stories are shared, and where time seems to slow down. But what if, lurking amidst the aroma of roasted beans and freshly baked pastries, there was something not quite right, something eerie? Welcome to the very peculiar world of haunted cafes. Yes, you heard it right, haunted cafes. A place where the everyday and the extraordinary blend in a strange concoction, much like a shot of espresso mixed with steamed milk. Our story revolves around one such cafe, nestled in the heart of a bustling city. This cafe, with its vintage charm and an unmistakable aura of nostalgia, is a popular spot for both locals and tourists. But this cafe is not just known for its delicious coffee and pastries. It carries with it a history, a past that is as rich as the espresso it serves and as dark as its chocolate ganache. Rumor has it, over the years, this cafe has earned itself a reputation for being haunted. Whispered tales of strange occurrences, of chilling apparitions, and an inexplicable sense of unease have surrounded this cafe. Yet these tales have only added to its allure, drawing in curious souls, daring adventurers, and those who seek the thrilling blend of the normal and the paranormal. So, the next time you find yourself yearning for a warm cup of coffee and a slice of adventure, remember this cafe. As you step into this cafe, the smell of coffee intertwines with an air of mystery. Every cafe has a story, but not all of them send chills down your spine. In the heart of the city, there's a cafe that does just that. A place where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingles with the lingering scent of fear. A place where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and not in a way you'd expect. It all began subtly. The first instance of the paranormal was hardly noticeable. A flickering light here, a misplaced coffee cup there. Nothing to cause alarm. A little quirk of the old building, they said. But as days turned into weeks, the incidences took a turn for the eerie. Staff began to notice strange noises, almost as if someone or something was moving about after hours. The clatter of cutlery, the sound of footsteps where there should be none. It was easy to dismiss at first, but soon it became impossible to ignore. Customers, too, started to share tales of their unsettling experiences. Some spoke of an inexplicable chill that would suddenly sweep across the cafe, even on the warmest of days. Others mentioned the sensation of being watched, of feeling an unseen presence. Then, there were the objects that seemed to have a life of their own. Coffee cups sliding across tables, chairs scraping against the floor, doors swinging shut with no one in sight. It was as if the cafe was playing host to an unseen guest, one that delighted in these small acts of mischief. The staff tried to rationalize, to find logical explanations for these occurrences. But as time went on, the reality became harder to deny. Something was happening in the cafe, something that defied the laws of nature and logic. As the sun set, the cafe's atmosphere would shift. The laughter and chatter would quieten, replaced by an uneasy silence. The lights would dim, casting long, ominous shadows. And then, the whispers would start. Whispers of a presence that refused to leave, of a story etched in the very walls of the cafe. As the sun sets, the cafe comes alive with whispers of its haunted past. Behind every haunting, there's a story waiting to be told. Let's dive into the dark past of the Hunted Café, a tale steeped in sorrow and shrouded in mystery. The cafe's history dates back to the early 19th century, a time ripe with change and fraught with uncertainty. It was originally a grand manor house, home to the illustrious Harrington family. The patriarch, Arthur Harrington, was a respected merchant known for his ruthless business acumen. His wife Amelia was a renowned beauty. Her charm and grace were the talk of the town. Together they had a young daughter named Emily, whose laughter filled the manor's halls. The tranquility of their lives was abruptly shattered one fateful night. A fire broke out in the manor, engulfing it in a sea of flames. Arthur and Amelia were found dead, their bodies charred beyond recognition, but Emily was nowhere to be found. She had vanished, swallowed by the inferno. The manor was rebuilt over time and eventually converted into the cafe we know today. Yet it seems the echoes of that tragic night still linger. Patrons frequently report strange occurrences, whispers in the dark, objects moving on their own, and the faint sound of a child's laughter. Some believe it's young Emily, trapped between life and death, forever wandering the cafe's corridors. Others speculate it's Amelia, filled with regret for not being able to save her daughter. And then there are those who suspect Arthur, his guilt-ridden spirit unable to find peace. The truth, however, remains elusive. The cafe's dark past is a complex tapestry of tragedy, a puzzle waiting to be pieced together. Yet, one thing is certain. The spirits that reside here are not malevolent. They're simply lost souls, trapped in an eternal limbo, forever bound to the cafe. As we delve deeper into the Hunted Cafe's history, we uncover layers of sorrow, regret, and loss. It's a chilling reminder that our past actions echo in eternity, shaping not only our lives but also the world around us. The past, they say, never truly leaves. Sometimes the line between the living and the dead blurs. In the hushed heart of the cafe, where the aroma of coffee mingles with the scent of aged wood, an encounter of the spectral kind unfolded. On an ordinary Tuesday, just as the clock struck midnight, a regular customer, we'll call him John, sat alone in a corner. As the cafe's outside world faded into the inky blackness of night, John savored his late-night cup of coffee, the steam dancing up into the dimly lit room. As he took his last sip, a sudden chill swept through the cafe, causing the flickering candle on his table to sputter and die out. John, unflustered, attributed it to a draft and reached out to relight the candle. But as he struck the match, he noticed, from the corner of his eye, a figure sitting across him. It was a woman, her face obscured by a veil of shadow, her hands folded demurely on the table. He blinked, trying to adjust his eyes to the darkness, but the figure remained. The woman didn't move, didn't speak. John felt a shiver creep up his spine. He'd been alone just a moment ago, hadn't he? Summoning his courage, he called out to her, his voice echoing in the silence. The woman didn't respond. John stood up, intending to approach her when the cafe's lights flickered back on. He blinked against the sudden brightness, and when he looked back at the table, it was empty. The woman was gone. John was left standing there, his heart pounding in his chest, the echo of his own voice still lingering in the air. He had been alone all along, hadn't he? But the chair opposite him was pulled out, as if someone had been sitting there. The encounter left an indelible mark, a reminder of the unseen guests of the cafe. Every haunting leaves behind a trail of questions. And so it is with the Hunted Café, a place steeped in chilling tales and dark history, a place where the aroma of coffee is tinged with an undercurrent of fear. There are many unanswered questions surrounding the cafe's haunting, questions that continue to baffle and fascinate us. Some wonder about the identity of the spectral figure said to inhabit the cafe. Is it a former patron forever bound to the cafe by some tragic event? Or perhaps it's a former owner unable to let go of the establishment they once cherished. Theories abound, each more intriguing than the last. Paranormal investigators point to residual hauntings, suggesting that the cafe is a psychic imprint of a traumatic event, forever replaying like a broken record. Others propose intelligent hauntings, arguing that the entity is aware and capable of interacting with the living. Then there are those who speak of poltergeist activity. They claim that the cafe's haunting is not the work of a single entity, but a manifestation of intense emotional stress or trauma, a theory that aligns with the cafe's tumultuous past. Yet despite the numerous investigations and theories, the cafe's haunting remains a subject of intense debate. Skeptics argue that the haunting is nothing more than an elaborate ruse, a clever marketing tactic to attract the curious and the brave. But for the believers, the cafe's haunting is very real. They argue that the inexplicable occurrences, the sudden chills, the fleeting shadows, and the eerie whispers cannot be dismissed as mere coincidences or tricks of the light. As the cafe's doors close each night, the mystery remains. What really haunts this cafe? Perhaps we will never know. Or perhaps the answer is waiting in the shadows for the right moment to reveal itself. And so, the Hunted Café continues to captivate us, a chilling reminder that there are things in this world that we may never fully understand.